Hey, Fidelity, how can I remember to invest every month?
With the Fidelity app, you can choose a schedule and set up recurring investments in stocks and ETFs.
Oh, that sounds easier than I thought.
You got this.
Yeah, I do. Now, where did I put my keys?
You will find them where you left them.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
The all-new season of Futurama is streaming on Hulu.
That's great, but I have to warn you, it's completely brilliant.
The interplanetary hit is back.
The very survival of Earth is at stake. Is everybody okay? Is anybody hurt?
Nobody's okay. Everybody's hurt.
Watch the all-new season of Futurama.
That's the best damn show I ever saw.
New episodes Mondays, streaming only on Hulu.
Welcome. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone. What's going on? What's up, AFK fam? It is your boy, Ninja. And we got a wild episode lined up for you today. I'm talking first pitches, behind the scenes action at training camps, and getting the VIP treatment with the Pistons and the Red Wings. That's right. It's a full-on Detroit takeover. So buckle up, because we're diving head first into Motor City sports scene. Let's go. All right, guys. So for those of you who don't know, this Thursday, on the 1st of August, June, July, on the 1st of August, I'm throwing out the first pitch for the Detroit Tigers game. Am I nervous? Absolutely, but also absolutely not. I feel like I'm just going to go out there and just not even try, right? But also like over try. Like I'm going to try to just throw the fastest pitch in the world, and if it doesn't make it, it doesn't make it. If it flies and hits the cage in the back, it that's what happens. But that's what I think. That's what I'm approaching. What I'm probably going to do. But the first pitch opportunity came to be. I mean, we were just. I think they just reached out to me and Andre. They were like, hey, because I started to get into baseball. I was talking about, I think, sports betting on stream. I think I talked about the Tigers. One day they reached out. They asked if we were interested. They sent over some merch, and when they asked us to throw out the first pitch, it ended up just being perfect because John and I and Chris are doing our very first sports show live from Detroit. Or not our very first sports show, but we're doing our very first live sports show in Detroit at one of their facilities. So that's going to be really cool. So we decided to do that, and then once we had that date down, I think we realized that, oh my God, the Tigers have a home game. I think we're just like, hey, let's do the first pitch. How do I feel about throwing the first pitch? Obviously, again, a little nervous. I went in my backyard yesterday and just like aimed at a tree and tried to throw one of the fastest fastballs I could, and my shoulder hurt after 3 throws. So I can only imagine being a professional baseball player. I think I'm just going to try to whip it. You know what I mean? I've already practiced some lob throws. I know I can get it there, but what's the fun in that? I think we're going to get there early, so I'm going to ask some of the players what they want me to do. And if I can actually get up to the mound and try to get it over the base as well, like with some practice throws even beforehand, that would be pretty cool. That'll probably decide what I'm going to do. If I'm just going to, do a chill pitch, or if I'm just going to absolutely rip the shit out of it. But I literally went outside and, threw the ball around for like 4 minutes. So no legitimate practice, but I'm not going out there dry. I'm also not really expecting the crowd's reaction to be really crazy. I mean, I don't know how many people are going to be there. I know that normal season, I mean, it is a Thursday, so it's close to the weekend, but like normal season games throughout the middle of the week, I don't know how many people are going to be there. I know that baseball in general, people, the fans really start showing up when it's postseason time, right? But the Tigers have been good this year. I don't know what their home crowd looks like in terms of how many people are actually going to show up to the game, or normally show up to the game. But all I know is my brothers are going to be there. Andre's going to be there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun no matter what. So I'm pumped. Best case scenario, I somehow get it to the catcher, whoever's catching it, and it's right over the plate, and I look great. Worst case scenario, Worst case scenario, it doesn't even make it to home plate. That's in my opinion, that's worst case scenario. I don't care if I like try to whip the ball and it like flies off to the side and it doesn't even make it there. Like, I don't care about that. I'm more worried about if I throw this thing and it just like hits the dirt. But that's all I'm worried about. I know it's going to be a blast. I'm going to have fun. Got my family there, so it's going to be lit. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also doing a Lions training camp visit. That's right. Me, my brother Chris, brother John, Andre, and of course my awesome friend and security Rob is going to be there with us too. We're doing a little preview, little viewing of the Lions training camp. We're going to get to watch them, run some plays, work out. I don't know, all that stuff, man. I'm hoping we get to have a couple, player interactions, even a coach interaction will be great. I don't even think I've met Dan Campbell yet, actually. I don't think. Like, personally, I haven't had like a one-on-one conversation with him. I don't even know. John would freak out. Chris, we would all freak out, but John's, and I'll say it to his face, John's a fanboy when it comes to anything Lions. He's the guy who will sit on the sideline and scream out the coach's name. Me personally, as somebody who's been in the space for, as like a celebrity or whatever in the gaming space, like I don't know. I try to humble myself. I try to not do what I don't really like when people do to me, which is, when they're like screaming at me. It's one of those like, it's one of those act like you've been there kind of things. But JB, I guess, hasn't been there at a high level. Obviously he's a pretty big streamer, in my opinion, averaging anywhere from 500 to 1,000 plus viewers, especially when he's playing his college football, the new college football game. He just won a natty, by the way, with SMU taking out Georgia. So congrats on that. But, I'm just pumped. I'm pumped we get to go there. We're doing a whole Detroit thing. And, I love the Lions more than anything. So it's going to be great. Hopefully we get to, meet as many people as possible, as many of the players. I don't personally have any pump-up speeches. But if I do, I'm hoping that I see Jared Goff ripped and yoked. I'm hoping I see him 30 pounds heavier, all muscle. That would be pretty sick. But all jokes aside, Jared's a stud. I hope to see him there. I personally don't have any pump-up speeches planned, and I would love to take a couple practice field goal kicks. You know what? And that being said, I should probably show up in some really nice shoes, like some like my walking Adidas shoes, and like a really athletic outfit, so that I can be ready to maybe run some routes, run the 40. And of course, kick some easy 30, 40-yard field goals. 30, 40-yard field goals, light work. Show everyone how it's done. How does the intensity of an NFL training camp compare to the gaming world? I mean, I've never been to an NFL training camp, so I can only imagine. For gaming, like, there are training camps for gaming. I know that in League of Legends, they like send their players over to Korea or Japan sometimes, and just I think it's South Korea, and they just have them play and just queue up forever, like solo queue, to just get used to that high caliber level of players, right? The different play style, because for some reason NA and EU just can't figure out how to beat Asia in League of Legends. It's almost never close. But like in general, there are training camps like that where they'll also, Red Bull back in the day for Halo used to do these LANs where they called it like the Red Bull Battlegrounds, I think is what it was called. And we had a couple, like 3 or 4 teams flew out. And we just, they just had dope setups, and they just had us scrimmage and practice against one another for like 3 days straight. Obviously, it didn't mean anything in terms of, placements or anything like that. It was just training, but it was a blast. You had great scrims, best of 11s. You're playing through all the game modes, all the maps. Getting the best practice you possibly can in at a LAN setup, right? Which is different from playing online. You don't have to deal with ping, and you're getting it in just the most elite aspect, right? You're getting the best type of practice. So that's kind of what gaming training camps look like. I imagine they can be even a little bit more extensive nowadays, because I haven't competed in a long time. I haven't been a part of an org or a roster for a long time. I imagine NFL training camp's the same thing. You're just giving it your all. You're running your routes, learning your playbook, getting comfy, getting fit, getting ready, getting stretched up, making sure you're not getting injured. You know what I mean? Just staying limber and, being ready in every possible way, mentally, physically, socially, right? Building that bond, right? That's another thing that we did. You don't even plan it, but you're hanging out with your boys when you're not scrimming and you're not playing. You're just kind of vibing, hanging around them, forming relationships, getting closer, and nothing makes you want to play even harder, play even better than when you're playing with friends. Also, we're shooting the Sports Show podcast in Detroit. really pumped about this. This is our first mobile sports show. This is also going to be our first sports show all together. Now, the sports show is just me and my brothers, right? It's me, John, and Chris, who have been watching and loving sports for the last, decade and then some. Chris has a lot of experience reading from a lot of professional, analysts, and he does a lot of his own research. So he's definitely the most knowledgeable, I think. John also is incredibly knowledgeable as well of the space. I'm just here for the ride. I love sports. I'm passionate about it. I can give pretty generic opinions, and sometimes a pretty nice breakdown of some certain games and stuff like that. I think I kind of go into take my role of the sports show is I look at games and I look at situations as not super analytical, right? I kind of just I look at it and I analyze, what's going on from a very face value, right? And it's kind of nice to have someone that can just call it how they see it, and it's not like this, well, you see the playbook that they use and they swapped off to, and and the new offensive coordinator, and that, right? That's I'm sitting here just it looks like they just couldn't get shit going, right? It looks like the morale was down bad. So and so looks like he just choked, and in reality, there definitely could be more, more details behind it, and certain, this, that, the other. But that's kind of my role, when it comes to the three of us in the sports show. But we're really pumped. We're just here to have fun, and it's really cool that Detroit's really setting us up with a lot of this stuff. So it's going to be really cool, and we're doing it from the Lions training camp. So my expectations are, honestly, I just want us to literally just have fun, shoot the shit, and really just kind of live in the moment, because I don't know if we're going to get another opportunity like this for a while.
With Ninja.
The all-new season of Futurama is streaming on Hulu.
That's great.
But I have to warn you, it's completely brilliant.
The interplanetary hit is back.
The very survival of Earth is at stake. Is everybody okay? Is anybody hurt?
Nobody's okay. Everybody's hurt.
Watch the all-new season of Futurama.
That's the best damn show I ever saw.
New episodes Mondays, streaming only on Hulu.
School is back, and Dick's Sporting Goods has what you need to win your year. Shop the hottest styles from the best brands like Nike, Jordan, FP Movement, Adidas, and Stanley. Stop by your local store or visit dicks.com for fast shipping. Now you're ready to win your year.
What unique insights or stories do you think you'll pick up from being on site? Dude, I hope that we can just see some of these players in action and really, give a in-depth, or give us our hey guys, listen, we were at training camp and Jameson Williams looked out of this world, right? Jameer Gibbs looked like he was fresh as ever. Jared Goff was throwing dimes. And we can let Lions fans and let people know what to expect, that they're kind of moving in full force. You maybe even tell them how the intensity of the training camp is, right? I don't know if they're going 100%, they're doing 50% practice. Are they practicing with pads on? Because I know that Dan Campbell's a huge fan of practicing in pads to get them ready. Because a lot of people do training camp, a lot of people do practicing without pads. That's where a lot of the injuries can come from, right? And the intensity is definitely more there. But how else are you going to be how are you going to be prepared if you're literally not playing in pads, taking hits in pads? So, I think it's just going to be really cool to be able to share on-site stuff with the fans. And can you guys expect any special guests from the Lions? Well, looks like you're just going to have to tune in, because I have absolutely no clue what's going on. I'm always in the dark with this stuff, and I prefer it that way. That way I don't stress out if I would have been nervous if someone's going to come on. So there might be special guests, there might be not. Tune in, twitch.tv/ninja, or Bearded Blevins, or Invictus. We're also doing the Pistons tour. How did that come to be? Dude, I think they just reached out. They know that we were coming, that we're going to be in there just doing, vibing. I think we actually wanted to do some work with us at the end of last season, but, things weren't the greatest. But, I think we started forming a little bit of a relationship with them, and we're going to be touring the Detroit Pistons, man. And obviously, you can really only go up from their season last year, which is exciting. So, yeah, I'm pumped. Detroit Pistons, man. Can't wait to see you guys. Heading out soon. Also, this just came up last minute. We're also doing a Red Wings. I literally think I saw it in my stream today from Andre. Or it was a text message while I was streaming. I looked down and saw it. but we're also touring the Red Wings. John is a huge Red Wings fan. We were all Red Wings fans when we were younger. I know that for a fact. Wayne Gretzky, one of the best, if not the best player of all time. So it's not like, we're, when I started watching hockey, it was when Chris was a fan of the Blackhawks and they were popping off and making their run. I think they won the Stanley Cup that year also. So I do like the Blackhawks, but we'll always be Detroit first now. I think we've honestly just came to the decision of just rooting for all Detroit teams as our primaries. So I'm just hoping to, maybe get a chance to go out on the ice. I don't know how much it is to tour. I feel like other than the rink, what else is there to see? I'm a decent skater. I've gone skating before, so I have practice, but I have no idea how those guys do it to play at a high level like that and skate. It's insane. Detroit city vibes. Outside of sports, what is my favorite part of the Detroit experience? Honestly, I just gotta say, I think just the food. Like the food and the people of Detroit are incredible. I've been a Lions fan for a long time, and they're just friendly. They're just wholesome. They're nice. And I love, people complain about it, but I love the Midwest weather, dude. And I also love the Michigan weather. I mean, it's every time, almost every game we go there, bro. It's gray and wet and raining, or drizzling, but I love it, dude. It's football season is what it reminds me of, baby. It's football season. When I'm in Detroit, dude, I just know I'm there for a Lions game. I mean, obviously now, hopefully other sports, but like I just get filled up with this joy of being back there. It's weird because I never lived there. I was born there, but it does. When I'm there, I don't know. JB just made it feel like home whenever we're in Detroit. So I love it. So let's talk about some personal reflections, dude.
The all-new season of Futurama is streaming on Hulu.
That's great.
But I have to warn you, it's completely brilliant.
The interplanetary hit is back.
The very survival of Earth is at stake. Is everybody okay? Is anybody hurt?
Nobody's okay. Everybody's hurt.
Watch the all-new season of Futurama.
That's the best damn show I ever saw.
New episodes Mondays, streaming only on Hulu.
School is back, and Dick's Sporting Goods has what you need to win your year. Shop the hottest styles from the best brands like Nike, Jordan, FP Movement, Adidas, and Stanley. Stop by your local store or visit dicks.com for fast shipping. Now you're ready to win your year.
We're going AFK with Ninja. What's he gonna say?
How does stepping into the world of sports as a gamer feel? Any unexpected challenges or surprises? I would say a little bit of I have a little bit of, what's it called? Like imposter syndrome, right? Somebody that takes their, I know sports. I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert. You don't have to be to have a sports show. I love sports. I know them. I came from, and all of my clout is in gaming and streaming, right? So to take that and then to start a show or to start something in another area that I'm not an expert in, I definitely feel that I don't want, I want people to know that I'm doing the show for fun, right? With my brothers and I don't know. I don't want to be taken too seriously, but I don't want people to think who the hell, who's this idiot? It's literally that's what it is. I want to be respected in a sense, but I know that obviously in that space, you got to earn it. Right. So, which is just me doing my best to try to be as knowledgeable as possible of what, the sports that I'm talking about and the players that I'm talking about, which I will do that. And yeah, I think that's been the biggest, unexpected challenge, I guess. Stepping outside my comfort zone and just wanting to be involved in something else other than gaming. And I would say an unexpected surprise is the welcoming of fans and teams and players, right? I've found that there's a lot of players on on the Lions or like even someone on the Tigers. Like there are people that actually enjoy gaming. You never see it. And like, you don't know what they do behind closed doors. You don't know what they do when they go home and they're not practicing. But more often than not, the story has been like, these people are gamers, dude. Like someone on that team plays video games. And if someone on that team plays video games, someone probably knows me, like, or, has heard of me. So there's always usually a mesh between, the collabs and stuff like that makes it feel really natural. And it's always like a weird colliding of worlds where like I'll meet a player and I'll be like, dude, I'm a big fan. And they go, yeah, me too. And it's like, holy shit. Like I go into these situations not thinking that these people are like fans of me or know who I am ever, because I don't want to be that guy, right? I go in there as like Tyler, who's trying to make content or whatever. Just be professional, have a conversation, ends up being like, yo, dude, yeah, I know you too, man. Like, love your streams. It's like, holy shit. All right, this is cool. Definitely makes things a lot easier. Takes the pressure off. And what has been the most fun part of this Detroit sports adventure for you? I mean, I think, just knowing that I'm going to do this, like I get nervous whenever I have to do stuff like this, but the fact that I'm going to be there with my brothers, it's just going to be so relaxing because I'm just going to be able to, I'm never going to be having like one-on-one conversations. I don't think I'm going to be with my brothers all the time. So I'm just going to be bouncing ideas and shooting the shit and just vibing off of everybody all day. So this is honestly just more like a fun trip than it's going to be business. So I'm just looking forward to hanging out with the bros and, meeting a lot of the Detroit players across the board. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this thrilling episode of AFK. Be sure to like, share, and follow for more epic content. And until next time, keep on game.
It's AFK with Ninja. Ninja's got a show. It's AFK with Ninja, the best podcast in the world. AFK.
Some things are college freshman essentials, like shower sandals, because otherwise, yuck. And of course, a Brita pitcher. Your team could save over $240 a year by switching to Brita from bottled water. Plus, Brita Elite removes 99% of lead from tap water. Get your freshman a Brita pitcher with the Elite filter today. 99% of lead certified by WQA. Substances reduced may not be in all users' water. $240 savings a year versus standard 16.9 fluid ounce water bottles. Savings assumes pre-purchase of Brita system.
School is back, and Dick's Sporting Goods has what you need to win your year. Shop the hottest styles from the best brands like Nike, Jordan, FP Movement, Adidas, and Stanley. Stop by your local store or visit Dicks.com for fast shipping. Now you're ready to win your year.